Shabbat shalom to y'all. You know what I mean? Hope everyone's having a peaceful Shabbat. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, yeah. One more, shout out to my trans uncle, Jorgensen. You know what I'm saying? He's like a goth trans am machine. Yeah. I mean, shout out to him. You know what I mean? Like he knows, you know what I mean? Like, we might actually have him on the show. You know, it'll be the first ever gentleman to ever come on and you know, and tell us about his life, and you know what I mean. But we'll deal with that some other time. You know what I mean? Shout out to homeboy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Strong jaw chicks. Shout out to all y'all. But we gonna keep it peaceful because it's Shabbat. After Shabbat, you know what has to happen to you. You got to get cooked. Shout out sister in the pot. Let me put the here. Oh, speaking of, yo, did you see my Pontiac Trans Am uncle? I'm getting like a lot of I'm putting the link down. I'm getting a lot of my uncles transitioning to embrace their inner man womanhood or something. I don't know what, like, I don't know what's up with these strong features. This is crazy. You know what? You know what I mean? Like, if your jaw is shaped like it should be punched, you shouldn't be like talking about anybody. Shalom, brother Musha. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I put the link down above if you want to come on. Wait. I just want to say real quick, you know, like, if you don't want to come on, I still got to address, you know, it's my Shabbat. I just got done studying a little bit. My little boy's about to cry. My mother-in-law left today. So things are looking pretty sweet. You know what I'm saying? Peaceful Shabbat. Last night, wait, what she say? Okay, yeah, I'll put the link down. Last night, oh boy. Oh, little boy, hold on. They got him all covered up. It's hot. Where's Nazareth? Where's mommy? Yo, so, you know what I mean? Yo, sorry, y'all. My little boy like tends to freak out, but my second daughter is like really good with him. Like, he chills out. Well, you know what I mean? Praise you, Howard, that have a child that like is there to, like, you know what I mean? The other two are like kicking it, especially she's them. Anyway, last night I was talking with her, right? And I was like, you know, I told you there was an episode that had happened on actually the mistake, it wasn't on Oh boy, hold on. It wasn't the crazy thing was it wasn't on the Coliseum channel. That was like my whole issue. I was like, wait a minute, the Coliseum channel doesn't act like this. Like what? Like it was like, and then I realized it was on the main channel, and I'm like, oh, that's why there's such an anti-God, demographic, or whatever. There's a lot of accounts that I don't recognize. I was like, man, who are these? And I realized that, yeah. So me talking to the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, even though I made that mistake, that was not on the Coliseum channel. That was on the HOK main channel, right? So that's why there was some confusion, I think, on my behalf, right? So I'll take accountability on that. However, that does not change the fact that, when we say the conscious community, we know that Sunlight is the chief of the platforms of, where everybody, well, they used to, well, in my opinion, well, let's say we know his position, right? So it's not necessarily like I'm saying anything against Sunlight, but like I'm saying that, like, I can, come on, man. I'm saying, I want to make sure my little boy's right. Where's Molly? My daughter said that all loud. Yeah, Ichon's indisposed at the moment, so the baby's gonna be wigging out. Nothing that anyone else can do but her. If anyone knows what I mean, pregnant mother or babies and mothers. But my daughter's doing a darn good job. Kinda. Yeah, he's hungry. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, Ashan's indisposed right now, and the baby needs her. But listen, that still doesn't take away from the fact that when we say the conscious community, we know we're not that son that is not. He's the king of the media thing. But there's a lot of people that have, like, quote unquote conscious ideals, whether it be like, like Nation of Islam or the Moors, the Israelites, the Christians. Atheism is not really conscious of anything. That's not that's like it's like a weird religion. Like, honestly, it doesn't make any sense. And it's about your own personal choice. Is not based upon logic and reasoning. So, so it's like that's just like not counting. This stuff's not counting. But yeah. So there wasn't a main channel and on the whatever, and like that's like even weirder because it is a main channel, and then that doesn't mean that it's Southerners' fault. It's saying, so I don't want no one to like misconstrue it or be like or do like the intros do, oh, Judas saying that it, no. Everybody, I get it. I'm not. So this is not. I'm saying, like, yo. Mic check. I'm saying we're around. If we're gonna be using like words like conscious, we should at least be making sure that people are like conscious. Like, conscious means like a state of awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're awoke to something. You're aware of something that other people otherwise are not privy to. You know what I'm saying? So on the ball.
Shalom. That's a beautiful sound in the background.
I mean, it sounds like hunger to me.
Can you tell the difference?
Yeah, when he's like, he makes a little like really expressed scream. I'm really hungry.
Do all your children have good appetites?
Oh yeah, we can barely keep food in the house.
That's good.
Actually,
sounds really strong.
Yeah, everybody says that. It does. Everyone says that.
Good baby.
Here, if you're at home, I gotta find Ike. Can you say something up the pot?
Yeah, go ahead. Peace, everybody. I know there's only a few people here, but that's okay. Shabbat Shalom to those who are celebrating the Shabbat right now. I don't know if many of you do lunar Shabbat, but that's what I'm usually doing, a lunar Shabbat. But I still, honor the Sabbath on the Saturday. So for those who are doing Shabbat today, this evening, I hope your Shabbat is going well. Yeah, that's that's good that Judah came in and said, he realized, because I let him know, oh, that was not the HOK Coliseum. The situation still was wild, but it wasn't the Coliseum. And speaking of the Coliseum, don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We do have a debate that has been much awaited. It is the debate between Elder Yarah and Menelek. I think it's Menelek. And I mean, how you pronounce it. So that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone will be there. Business as usual. And let's just get that done. I did put up the polls, by the way, for the debate. I had them up for a while, like probably 3 days. We decided that we're not going to keep the polls up for, ever, so to speak. So we pretty much let people weigh in, and we got the results. And so we're going to gradually start taking the polls down. There are some polls up still, I believe. But for the earlier debates, like where we started with Judah, that poll's down. The Domo Lord Abba's poll is down. I just, with this particular platform, our vision is to just make it where it doesn't quickly turn into, like a biased environment. So we just got to keep the checks and balances in place, and that will make people feel more comfortable and more inspired to come in and participate and debate. So far so good. And yeah, that's about it. It is so hot here. I was out all day, and my voice is so hoarse because I'm kind of dehydrated. I know that's what it is.
Oh, no.
10. No, it's 111 today. And
hell no.
so it's 101 right now, and I just got to stay hydrated.
I can't do it.
Peace, Ascent.
I said the baby's name is Kaminari.
Yeah, Carmen.
It means thunder or becoming a god.
Nice.
Or like the god Nari.
Nari,
like,
is that similar to Naruto?
No, isn't it like all right, where's Nari?
Naruto, is it similar to Naruto? Is it like
etymologically connected?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she said no. But what does Nari mean, Adrian?
Naru means
or Naru?
to sound or to become.
I can't hear her.
To become.
To become is Naru?
Yes.
Judah, I like that track. I want to probably write to some stuff that I've heard. So if you could give me that track that you played, I'm going to put something to that.
Which one? The beginning?
Yeah.
That would really be dope.
Get some like drums, more drums in it.
Well, the timing is 2-3, I think. So it's like
I know. I could get somebody to do that. I have some people out here. Shout out to Blueprint Records. Rest in power to my friend Fanatic. Shout out to the Wu-Tang, Killer Priest, Moon Cricket. Shout out to Lord Fury. Yeah. Oh, and also Rascas. Shout out to my brother Rascas.
Rascas has a song from in the early it was like late 90s as a song with the RZA. And it's like really, really incredible. Well, I forgot the name, but I gotta find that song. From Rascas.
Well, you know the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, that's Killer Priest, Cannabis, Corrupt, and I think Rascas is the fourth.
Rascas, yeah.
Yeah. Told you I'm like hip hop nerd. People don't really know it,
I'm a little bit. I'm not a nerd, but I do know, especially old hip hop.
Okay.
So yeah, there was an awesome event that I was, I got entry into because of some people out here. It was, they had all the old school hip, not all, but they had some big headliners like Kwame, um, Rascas, Egyptian Lover, one of my favorites.
Wasn't
Bro,
it NWA?
I'm such a fan. I was acting all goofy.
Oh wait, that's Arabia Lover. Okay, I thought one of those. I thought that dude, Egyptian Lover, was down with NWA. Like NWA used to be bigger than the members we know. It was like other people.
Oh yeah, they had a Mexican guy. Did you know that?
I think it's probably who I'm talking about. Like because
The original
like
NWA had a Mexican guy.
Okay.
Don't get me started about my my Ice Cube and what else? Who else? Stories. Suge Knight. Gather around, children. Got my voice, bro. I gotta drink some water.
Next year. Hey, I saw that a particular animal on a throne has me, you, and I think Son Letter. I'm not sure. On the thing, and she's of course talking about us,
Well, that's all she knows how to do. She's gonna be going to jail, for sure. She's gonna be paying. So I just want to let you know my views are my views. So Judah's panel is open to all. People hit the panel and they have the channel views are not the same as the guest views. But I will say this: everything I will say about her while I'm on the internet, I'm gonna be staying in the parameters of the law. I'm speaking up against a full-blown cyber bully, non-consensual AI creator, and a stalker, and a criminal. She's dangerous. She's tied to murders, meaning her baby's daddies, both of them murdered somebody with the same gun, and they were best friends. So she's not the type of person who's just on the internet playing. She's almost 50 years old. She's almost 50 and she's on the internet doing this. It's a crime. And that goes for her buddies too. So I'm just saying, Judah, whatever you say, I'm happy to be up here. You go in on them, but I'm letting her know everything I'm doing is going to be used in the court of law. She can't say the same.
Listen, okay, it's my Shabbat, so I'm keeping it peaceful today. I'm just saying, the art of war says, you don't always strike when your ops think. You gotta let them get comfortable. Let them chill out. Then all of a sudden, just when you find the perfect time, just get them. You know what I mean? So,
right.
And I'm gonna give her a warning, like, because I am a man. You know what I mean? Like beating up on women is not, like messing with men.
That's not a woman. That's a pile of whatever used to be once a human. It's like a golem.
Well, listen.
Because women don't. Let me clarify for the court. I've been stalked by this woman for over almost 3 years, and I'm speaking like this now because she's trying to harm me and destroy me. So women don't do that. That's my point. It's a pile of hatred.
Okay, well, you know what I mean? The gender is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, like, even when I go at Mr. Randy's, I like use some kind of restraint until she like crosses the line. Then I have to put the force on her a little bit. But other than that, it's not cool for, I'm not Rob Rag. I don't think it's cool to really be going in hard on females.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Moving right along.
Jab them up a little bit. You know what I mean? Make them feel it a little bit, but I don't believe in like going all hard.
But you don't even do that without, it's just what you do is tell the truth in a response to her, right? Like, yeah. I'm not sitting on the internet for 4 years thinking of her. What a weirdo. Like, people playing with my pictures and stalking me and then saying, Napa's jealous.
Well, of what? The well-defined jaw?
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that one. See, everybody, the thing about that one is there's a lot of sadness. Honestly, that one's really going to get it. So I'm really not going to say about her. It's going to feel good to be out of the virtual world and standing before a court in a court of law before a judge and
Wait,
watching this
wait,
narcissist, this
you're talking
high-level
about
gaslighting narcissist at work.
yeah, my uncle. He don't know how to act.
Yeah, let's say they instead of using any slanders, and let's just be
What?
respectful.
I'm not slandering. I'm just
No,
saying.
no, I mean not slanders. That's not the right word.
Listen,
Any
he got a lot
offensive
of
word.
work on that. Listen, he got a lot of work on that jaw. Come on,
No,
let's
you
give him
can't say
credit.
he. That's offensive.
What?
You have to say
Okay.
they.
Oh, my bad. I forgot. I gotta be woke. Yes, they.
Peace.
You
Shalom.
know,
So they, and I don't even know who you're talking about. I'm just talking in general about the LGBTQ, mostly the T.
I'm saying they got a jawbone like a heavyweight boxer. That's all I'm saying. I mean, maybe I'm just bugging.
They are irrelevant, but
Wait,
they
this is
are
happening.
dangerous. So I really don't even want to talk about her.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
I'm
happening.
sorry. They. I don't want to talk about them because
It's
people have called me a man before.
Kaminari.
People have called me a man, but I don't look like one. So I don't really want to go there. But you can if you want. Oh, look at how do you spell your newborn's name? Calamari.
Calamari. Ain't that like some kind of like vegetable or something or shrimp
No,
or
that's
something?
squid.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. I don't eat that. But Kaminari.
I like caminari. God, it makes me want to eat ramen for some reason. I'm not kidding.
You mean like those Negroes that was in the chat?
No, not that. I mean, real authentic ramen with the Let me ask. I think it's called Naruto. Those wheels. Those like they're like white and red swirly.
Yeah, she said yes.
It's like white fish mixed with like. Is it called Naruto?
Yes. Wait, isn't that an anime character too?
Yeah, that's why I was asking her. Naruto.
Why would he name why would he name himself Naruto or why would they call him a fish?
That's why I was asking. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, why is he named a fish after a fish?
One Piece. No, we do not watch One Piece. Please, do you watch it? Don't let you.
I don't watch it either, but I have a dope One Piece fitted hat, but like I just don't get it.
No, bro, don't. Y'all, don't let Shizen watch One Piece, please.
All right.
It makes you, it'll reduce your, it's just an anime that's just like, it goes on forever and it's just pointless.
I know. That's what I was like, yo, what, I just can't, I don't get it.
Judy, okay, best anime ever, top 3. She's in it, Kaminari. Now tell me that doesn't sound like a superpower duo. I know it does. I told you
I picked the dopest names, but the mom always be like, no. Like I'm like, yo, like to American ears, these names sound dope.
Yeah,
my daughter wanted to name the little baby Raisin. I'm like, man, if you don't get out of here, why would you stop?
Because they're doing it from Japanese, like, but raisin here means a dried up grape.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me and I started laughing. We were like, we might as well just name him Grape. And then I was like, no, I don't like that word now. You know what I'm saying? So, like.
Remember the other one? You want to say it?
What was the other one?
The one you said you were going to name him? Raiden?
Oh, yeah, Raiden. But it's like Mortal Kombat. And I do like Raiden from the video game. However, like.
He's a black child. He will get roasted for that name.
Yeah, it probably isn't the best idea.
You know how creative we are. Like, we be making up Queen's Toilet. They'll be like, but yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you watch anime? Let's talk about anime real quick. Because let me tell you about anime. There's a lot of spiritual messages in anime. Demon Slayer, come on, don't play with me.
I never watched the anime except for Transformers, which is like cartoon.
Bro, you gotta watch. I want you to watch Demon Slayer to just get started. And what's the one with Yato God? Anybody know? I forgot it. My children know it. My children love anime. So I used to say no anime, no anime, and then I just sat down one day. Oh,
South
Titans.
Ninja Scroll
Clash of the Titans,
and Ninja Scroll I know of.
not Clash of the Titans. Oh, I don't know Ninja Scroll.
What?
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Musha. South Park. That's all that.
South Park is so not good.
What? You crazy, man? It is another one with I forgot his name. What's that Cartoon Network? No,
Teen Titans. Teen
what's
Titans.
no, he's a cat and he has a fish friend.
Oh, not a fish friend. That's his brother.
It's his brother, but his brother's a fish.
That's my kid's show. I forgot. Gumball.
Oh, Gumball. Yo, Gumball is the greatest cartoon. That is up there.
No, better than Gumball. The two with the raccoon and Mockingjay. Y'all know who I'm talking about. They're hilarious. My kids know, but I want to go out there and ask them. It's a raccoon. Friend.
Legend of the Overfiend, or
I don't know those. Oh. Y'all are probably pulling up some stuff from the 80s.
I don't know. I don't watch that. I watch like Musha said, South Park and Gumball. Like shit that Robbie like.
What about the one on Adventure Time? Not Adventure Time. I hate that one.
Adventure Time's actually all right. Sometimes it's a little like tripped out. You can tell whoever makes these cartoons, they're doing drugs.
Mordecai, what's his name? He's like a Mockingjay and he has a friend.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I'm gonna look it up right now. This is so funny. Oh my god!
Listen, whoever's coming up
they're called The Regular Show. Oh my lord, it's funny. Oh,
Rocky
your stomach will hurt watching it. Rock and Bullwinkle. Oh please, that's it. Stop.
But listen, whoever, if you listen, you might have
Ascent to Phoenix, girl. You are bringing out some stuff I do not know. This is old. This is probably from the 80s.
I's father has a poster of this in the living room. The Neon Genesis Evangelion with like the Kabbalah tree. It's like really weird, like, and like it's really weird.
I don't know any of these. Wicked City, Cowboy Bebop.
I know Cowboy Bebop.
Do you guys don't know like Attack on Titan?
No, I had cable.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I heard of that. What station was that on? My
Hero Academia.
I definitely never heard of that. I don't know where you at. Trunapod, these are the ones from the 90s. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're from the 90s. JoJo, there you go. Yeah, JoJo. JoJo's a classic. There you go. Finally got one that she knows.
I'm telling you, whoever's making up good anime, like they smoke herb. I'm telling you. Listen, I grew up watching Scooby-Doo all the way up from my like little childhood up until like probably like early teens, right? So I'm very well versed in Scooby-Doo. And it only came to me when listen, it only came to me when I was like 18 years old, 19 years old. What the hell was really going on? Right? Why was Scooby-Doo always getting a Scooby snack? Right? Because he always had the munchies. And then if you look at Shaggy was a bum. He looked like he just didn't take care of himself, right? He was a hippie, yeah. He was a hippie, but he was always hungry. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and they always like had to go raid their kitchen and
always. So you already know
but not just that. They always were seeing the crazy stuff first, like tripping out. Yeah. And everybody thought they were just making it up.
Yeah. Like listen, though, when you're like a kid though, you're just watching it like laughing or it's like intriguing. But as you're like older, you're like, bruh, Shaggy was clearly smoking weed. Him and Scooby, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, come on, like.
And they were always the goofballs. They never were taking things seriously.
Yeah, like walking away, doing not being safe. But then there's like more dynamic to the story too. Like Fred and what's her name? Is Fred, Thelma, and wait, what's the other one? The redheaded chick. Daphne. Do you notice that Fred and Daphne always went off alone? I'm not trying to be like overly.
Thelma was always with them.
Well, a lot of times Thelma will also be with Shaggy and Scooby, and then
I don't think so. I don't remember. I didn't watch it like that.
No, Shaggy and Scooby do. No pun intended. Shaggy and Scooby did go duo like a lot of the time.
Doobie, like a doobie. Smoke a
well,
doobie, like the Doobie Brothers.
See, that's what I'm like. Look at these names. Like, come on, man. We're over here like as little kids, like Scooby Doo. So clearly whoever was made Scooby Doo was clearly blazing up. I mean, maybe you don't remember, but I'm saying for those who do, go look at Scooby Doo again. You're gonna be like, yeah, clearly. Or how about even certain movies? Like, I'll give you an example. There's a movie called The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Wait, stop. That's Johnny Depp.
No, homeboy from Mask is in it.
Hold on. I think I've seen it. Eric.
Jim Carrey.
Homeboy
and the girl is she has a strange name. It's Jim Carrey from Living Color, Mask.
His girlfriend?
Yeah, the girl, in the movie has
and he has like all these trippy moments.
Yes, he's like trying to get
I never saw it, but I saw that. I thought you were talking about something else.
That movie's crazy. Well, first off, Jay Electronica like raps to the soundtrack. So there's no drums, it's literally like the illest thing you ever heard. And there's like 3 parts, right, from the movie, right? So we're hearing like the music before we see the movie. So one day the movie comes on and I'm like, me like chill out and watch this. And I watched it like 2 or 3 times, and there's like other stars in there too. Like there's it's like star packed, like that movie. You know what I'm saying?
I cannot smoke weed. I just want to say that it's like scary for me.
Well, you gotta fight what's inside.
No. It's like I don't need it. But anyway, go ahead. Because I'm always like it kind of not envious, but always like fascinated how people can be like, "Oh, I tripped out, bro," and I'm like, "Where?" One time, when I smoked weed twice in my entire life, and the one time I smoked it was like it had to be like over 15 years in between the second time, and the one time I was like, "I'll never do this again." It was awful, terrifying.
I know it's not for everybody, but goddamn, bro, hot damn. Sorry, weed is great.
Like, I don't see how it's so great though.
I mean, I'm not saying
like not having control. Even like alcohol is another thing that it's worse than weed because it actually causes brain damage. But like, I mean, some of it can be irreparable. People don't know that. But like weed, I felt like I literally could see myself stepping into another like space, like another.
That's what I'm telling you.
Like a rip in the time. What is it? Time and space continuum.
I'm telling you, that's why you listen.
I don't like that.
A lot of people you see who smoke weed be like talking about some stuff, and you're like, man, you're just high. But the thing is, he's using a part of his brain that the average person doesn't use, so he's perceiving things that sound strange and like new to people who are. But no, he literally is experiencing. He's seeing like, wait a minute, like it's not that what he's saying is like just ridiculous. No, he's looking at something from another angle that like the average person isn't looking at it from. And he's literally saying what he's saying is true. Like, wait a minute, what? Like I'm saying right now, like even right now, I'm telling you, like, yo,
hold on. Look what Basil said. This just in, not to interrupt, but we have some breaking news. Watch the video by Melanie King. California says Black people can't help that they like kids, and they need to fight to decriminalize child rape. But Kendrick is pointing at Drake. I believe that. Yeah, I know. I could see not all Black people are saying this, but I could see that they've hired a group to put this jacket on us. But let me talk about that. There's so much pedophilia running rampant within us that people are so desensitized. Like when I brought out and when we talked about look at so-and-so, like, look at what he did with that little girl accusing him. And everybody's like, oh, you're just upset that you broke up. And then with Polite, when Sotnetter first said, look, Renan, Ted, and everybody's like, you're just hating on him. And then but Black people are so programmed because of slavery is so still epigenetically encoded in us. We have not broken that line of encoding. You can so-called reprogram your DNA, but like we haven't done that as a collective whole, as a general group of people, because we don't see it like, as a priority, to tell you the truth. Yeah, we hate it. We find it to be abhorrent, the majority of us, but there's another 30% from the 60% that people just say, oh, the little girl's lying, like like what's her name, AF, when you're calling her they, your uncle. She's like, oh, attacking me, instead of saying, you know what, that woman, I don't know her, I don't particularly like her, but she's got a point. This guy did attack, a little girl did say he attacked. So instead of attacking him, she comes and attacks me. There's so many women who have told their own daughters, get out of my house, I hate you. Fist fought with their little daughters, so their daughters say, oh, your boyfriend grabbed my booty or grabbed my breast. So we have been, it's from slavery. And people say, oh, come on, you can't make that excuse. It's not an excuse. People were actually being forced to mate with their own mothers and fathers. I know you said don't go on and on and on and overspeak, but just saying, I don't want to go. So yeah, I believe that what Basil put out there. If that, I'm gonna go fact check it though.
Ramel, that's
Slavery,
false.
no, wrong, Basil. Slavery has everything to do with it.
Yeah,
because we don't. So what you would be saying then? Every ethnicity world is enslaved. No, there's not one ethnicity that has been in chattel slavery for centuries, multiple centuries, like we have, with such murder, mutilation, abuse. There's not one in history that you can find. If you can bring it to me with facts, I'll say, oh, you're right, but I know you won't be able to. So that might be a side of you that's been misinformed, Ramel.
Yeah, fairly good. Ramel always does this. He always
no, it's not about slavery. See, you 1 minute you put out something that's really vital information, then you come in and you undo it, and you're like, no, the why. So what you're essentially pushing is that we're just innately animalistic. You're pushing a very dangerous agenda against Black people of the progeny of slaves who were, I'm not gonna lie, we weren't peaceful, like how these Pan-Africanists try to put, like, we were just minding our business and we were singing and dancing and the ladies were cooking us whatever that stuff they eat with their fingers. And then all of a sudden here comes white man. No, we were warring with each other. We were vicious to each other. But there wasn't this slavery. They would just kill the people, Ramel. They
Slave,
would
can I say something?
I'm gonna let you talk, brother.
Worst,
I promise.
thank
I'm gonna
you, Mama.
be quiet for you. So, brother,
The worst slave trade on the planet. Okay, look, the worst slave trade in the planet's history. Okay, the worst, and you can find this for yourself. The worst slave trade in the world's history was the Islamic slave trade. They marched 2 million Africans across the Sahara. You can still find bones in the Sahara Desert stretched. They used to dash baby girls' heads on stones who could not make it across that desert. That slave trade still continues to this day. The Spanish and Brazil slave trade in Brazil and in the Caribbean was far worse than the United States. The United States only purchased 600,000 slaves. You have more Caucasians and those from the Mediterranean world go into the African Barbary Coast slave trade, who were also treated far worse. The Arabs castrated 1 out of every 4 men in the slave trade, the blacks. Today, the highest commodity in motherfucking the slave trade is the black woman for sex. Today, you have 7 million black people being sold on slave markets in Nigeria, Libya, Sudan, and throughout Saudi Arabia. Nobody's talking about that, but yet y'all worrying about some shit 400 years ago that we were never born into. We were listen. Hold on. We were not there. Neither one of us were slaves. People on the West Coast were never enslaved.
But I want to talk to you,
California never had slaves. When I'm sitting here telling you what's going on in California right now, you have black lawmakers. White people are actually fighting against these black lawmakers who are trying to decriminalize child rape in California because they say it is a disadvantage to black people because black people like kids and they're getting locked up left and right does not help the cause. Oh my God. Just check that video. Check that video out.
I believe you. Can you take a breath and let me say something? One thing. You're 100% correct about the first, like, 90% of stuff you said. Then you're going into the lawmaker stuff. Absolutely. Everything about the Arab slave trade of our people, those are our people who are.
That's not our people. They're not our people.
Yes, brother, let me say this.
They're not. You got to stop saying everybody is your people. That's the problem with black people in America. Everybody is not your people. They're your friends. Black men in America, we got to stop saying everybody's your people. You got to stop saying assalamu alaikum, shawalaham, all that other shit to them. You got to be pro-American. You got to be pro-American and pro-national. It's us versus them. Stop saying that they're your people and they're your friends. They don't give two fucks about you at all.
Talking over me though?
They will rape you in Saudi Arabia. They will destroy you.
They'll rape a woman anywhere. Listen,
they will turn you out. And that's if I drop you off in Colombia, they will turn your guts. If I drop you off in Mexico,
they'll turn a woman out in Russia. Let me say this.
Listen, if I drop you off in Haiti, they will turn your guts inside out, sweetheart.
They'll turn a woman out anywhere in the world.
They're not your brothers. They're not your sisters. Stop calling poppies. Stop calling all these people your friends and your brothers. That's the wrong with black men and black women. You have been taught to be that everybody's your friend and everybody's your fucking brother. No, they're not. Everybody's coming in this motherfucker and taking over your shit. Black people are losing in the United States right now. All that shit that you're talking about is irrelevant. Fuck Egypt.
You just want to speak by yourself or no?
Y'all got to sit there and stop thinking about this fucking fascination shit. Y'all got to get off of that. Y'all got to get back to reality. Y'all off into some fucking fake imitation dumbass shit while you're losing your country. Right in your face, you're losing it.
Now you're talking about
you got black lawmakers, listen up, people. You got black lawmakers in California fighting to decriminalize fucking.
Oh, thank you. Because he won't even, he's throwing, and I appreciate his conversation. First of all, he's wrong about us not being the people who were taken to the east. We weren't just taken over to the west, it wasn't just over the Atlantic. He's absolutely right. If we're going to, it's a very sensitive topic about slavery. So I'm going to apologize beforehand. We can't, I don't want to offend certain people where they say, how are you going to say one was worse than the other? But the facts are true. He was right about the Portuguese and the Spanish as far as in the Caribbean and in South America. They had a harsher slave trade because they had a different idea about the commodity of slavery. In those types of transportations and that commerce, they thought, oh, well, just kill them. They're disposable. We'll get more. But with the English, when they're bringing when they were doing the transportation, the slave trade to America, they said, oh, you know what? Let's have breeding farms. Let's not just let them drop dead while they're working the sugar fields. But they weren't working the sugarcane fields up in the United States. They were more like, doing other types of agriculture and building the infrastructure in America. And so they were taken care of in the way where they didn't want them to just drop dead. And that actually helped the English in the long run. How did it help them? Because when slavery was abolished, when it was like banned, the transportation of humans, trafficking of humans, America already had their breeding farms set and ready to go. So they were like, okay, fine, we don't have to import because we're taking care of our slaves. Where with the Portuguese and the Spanish, they were pretty much like, damn, we're not going to be the winners in the slave trade because we just been letting our slaves just die. We haven't been breeding them like breeding farms. And these are facts. So he's right about that. What he's wrong about saying is that wasn't us going to the east. It is us. I wrote an entire thesis on these African slaves going to China, and they were transported by the Arabs. And there's information on that. They're exactly the same. I'm doing air quotes when I say exactly, because of course there might be some differences like, oh, well, those weren't the same tribe. But my point is they were African people, our people, because now I'm going into those who believe in the curses and Deuteronomy 28. If you fit the curses, if you were transported in that way, in a barbaric way, then you are our people. Even if we're scattered in the diaspora. So if you went to the east with the Arab slave trade, and by the way, the Arabs were involved even with the transatlantic slave trade. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am from just the information I've learned. I'm gonna hand it over. Maybe you could let him back in if he's still in the back. But
no, we don't want to hear a rant.
Go ahead.
Hold on. He says, Judah, I thought you were against child rape. First off, Ramel, you know that I am. But unfortunately, you're not. Because you still hang out with Rob Rack, and Rob Rack, I've been unsubbed from because this dude's talking about doing something to it, nasty to a baby. And then he even makes a noise and goes, So pretty much like a lot of people stop hanging out with you. I unsub from him. I guarantee I can go to Rob Rack's channel, and I guarantee you'll be sitting on his panel, bro. And you know what he said. And you know my uncle with the strong jaw, it flagged my channel because I clipped Rob saying what he was saying about 5-year-old girls or boys or whichever he's talking about.
Look at Musha, though, not to interrupt you. Damn, he was going in. Why you kick him? So do you want me to just pour some crap into your ear that you don't even get a chance to, like, decipher? And it's not, I shouldn't say crap, because I don't have a problem with Ramel. I know he is wrong. He's a hypocrite. You're absolutely right. I see you over there talking to Rob about things that are not important, but that's your business, Ramel. You've never come at me crazy. So, but I'm going to talk to you about you coming at him saying, I thought you were against it. That's egregious. That's an offensive statement. We're all against that besides Rob Rack. He's not against it. In fact, he said, I do it. He said, I like to do that to children.
But and then this also feeds into what he put in, but the thing though, like, and what the sister was saying, like, look, you know, these types of things are increasing because you can even see it online where you have people who are supposed to be advocates and whatever, not talking about anything that's going on like that. We were even, listen, I can tell you, I'm all the way here in Japan, and there's a friend of mine, he puts up these like missing in Ohio, like very, very close to like areas that we all live, right? And we're like, man, it happens so often. There has to be some type of like network going on.
There's
like these kids are just like missing, like, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot to report on all that. And we've been on even Facebook, you know, whatever. Right, and spreading and sharing and trying to help out. Because I saw a little girl whose last name was Dejarnet. I'm sorry, I'll get her last name. From an area in Ohio that's I'm related to, and I put down this is my niece, I think, and I reshared, and you know, and I reach out to my cousin. Anyone? Never mind.
But listen, Judah, this is the thing about Ramel, I can tell he's passionate about it, but the issue is there's some passive aggressiveness, like when he's like, I thought you were against child rape. Then he's like, they'll turn you out. They'll do all this stuff to you. There's some energy that is, I don't know where it's coming from for you, Ramel, because I don't recall ever like, you know, doing anything where you can come with, oh, it is true. You don't tell people, I thought you were against child rape, or tell a woman, they'll turn you out. If anybody knows or is more of an advocate against sex trafficking and prostitution, it's definitely me between the two of us, Ramel. If they have to say who's more against sex trafficking and child trafficking and women being trafficked, that would be me by a long shot. Because I don't associate myself with anything remotely close to sex trafficking. What am I talking about? If you are associated with any type of drug trafficking, there's sex trafficking involved in that. There isn't just one guy saying, well, I only traffic drugs. No, they traffic humans, they traffic drugs, they traffic guns. That's what goes on. So you got to find, the Most High says you got to either be cold or hot. You can't be lukewarm. And I mean that. So going back to what you said, Judah, I think we should get into a discussion about the slave trade of our people going to the East. Because that's the best thing that he did point out to me. And the Arabs are included. Like I said, they were a big part of not just the slave trade to the East. It was just more convenient for them. But they had a hand in the slave trade going to the Americas and to the the west side of the world.
Yes.
So,
but yes, but there's another narrative that they failed to bring out as well, or a narrative they want to like frame. The Europeans and the Arabs and whoever else came in and got slaves from. They didn't go in there and just conquer people, and then like that's not what happened, bro.
Didn't they wait on the shores pretty much and then let the Arabs do the hard work and Africans?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. That was the thing. The Africans would lead out the people, and you think a whole bunch of Arabs just came in just all through Africa and just just started picking people up just randomly. Here, come here.
Yeah.
You're going into slavery. No, that's not how it works.
And how do we think? Wait, Judah. How do we think that people think? Oh, the Arabs learned. The Africans learned Arab because of the Islam. The Muslims came in. No, they were learning it because of at the beginning of the slave trade.
Yeah, it could have been your Muslim Africans that could have played a role, because people didn't really necessarily go by race. There was like a conception of race. People, there may have been. Like,
let me correct that. I don't mean that they didn't learn it when, obviously when Islam came into the country at first, but it really was proliferated. Like, it was proliferated through the slave trade. They had to communicate. Those people who were in Africa with their languages, they had to communicate with they weren't Muslims.
Well, Africa's heavily Muslim, and it's not by Arabization.
I'm saying, like, what do they call it? The Fulani?
They're everywhere. They're everywhere on Africa. They're like not in one place. You'll find them like everywhere on like east, north, southwest. Those people are like they are spread out. They are everywhere. Like they're Muslim too, and it's not just them. It's a whole bunch. They're a big group, and they're everywhere in Africa. And they're African. There ain't no these are Arabs. No, they're African. You know what I'm saying? However you want to call it, because what is an African if they're not? They've been there. They're all over Africa.
So let's talk about the slave trade. Let me get this information that I did. This is back in 2010, 11. What's it called? The Land of the Blacks. God, I haven't looked at it forever. The Land of the Blacks?
Isn't that Sudan?
No. But I'm not saying it's not Sudan, but I'm saying it's regarding the Arab slave trade. God, I haven't read this.
I think it's Sudan. They call it Nubia.
No, I'm not saying it's not Sudan, but I'm saying the actual what the Arabs would call it while they transported Africans through into China.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm getting it right now. 1 second.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't want to say why she's getting that. Yeah, so my hope. I just want to say before she gets the thing, I just want to show that like I want to bring true consciousness. I'm one of those guys that or people, I should say, that
I got it.
Shit that normally wouldn't necessarily catch your attention might be my main, like something that catches my eye like heavily. Like I'll give you an example. Like this is not a shot at anybody or anything, but this is just when I hear a word like conscious, I think of I start thinking of like your brain, all what comes along with that, right? So I start thinking, are you awake? Are you aware of things? Because that's what being conscious is, right? So, and I was just saying while you were finding something, I wasn't trying to change the subject or anything, but I was thinking, I was like, well, people like to say that the Israelites are not quote unquote spiritual. They try to like label it like religious. But if you like really think about it, we actually have like the actual spiritual thing, because we have the actual spiritual, like the word spirit itself. Like we start getting to the essence of words, and it's like the conscious community now like should be like I don't know, like better, bigger, I guess, like in terms of like different like people, but unified in thought, or like some actual thought behind whatever. Or I don't know. Maybe these groups played out. I don't know. And I'm not to go. You can go back to where you're saying. I'm just saying that like the conscious community isn't looking very conscious, except for a few people. And it's kind of like I would like to restore consciousness where and thought. I remember you were talking about things like what do you call it? Metaphysics, and there's something else, abstract thought.
Yeah.
And how powerful that is, because if you ask somebody who's if you like an atheism, you say, can you think in the abstractly, and if they say yes, then they're saying that they're using their spirit. So then their argument of where does the spirit come from? Where does this ability to plan, to muse, to ponder, to contemplate, to connect this to that, to think in angles and all, other creatures cannot do that except for men and angels, or people and angels are able to think in a high degree. Like there's nothing to suggest that the angels are like all super duper incredibly like smart. They don't really need to be on the earth level. Maybe on spiritual, not maybe. I'm sure on spiritual things, absolutely, things we are not familiar with. But they're not going to be like earthly. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't like know. They're not worldly. Well, people don't even believe in angels like these days. But even though they're even hearing about UFOs, niggas are still like, I don't believe in God. Well, it's just ridiculous, man. It's just not. It's not anybody's fault, I guess. Maybe it could be the most. I don't know, but I can see that once we all start talking about, about psychology and stuff, I think we can get to like these talking points that actually will, when applied, be beneficial when applied to the individual first, just to show that it works, and then see its effect on others when you know what I'm saying. Like, but go ahead, sister. I was just saying that the conscious community is not looking very conscious these days.
Yeah, and I hear you. I found what part of my paper that I was sending out. Damn, I don't have the whole. I gotta find it. It saves something, but I'm gonna read a little bit. I did find something here. So I wrote this. Forgive me, a lot of it's like gone because how you don't visit something again, you finish it and you're done. But anyway, okay, so these people were not just. This is the issue. I know we have issues as a people, as a whole, with our in our rejuvenation, in our coming back alive, like the the dry bones. A lot of us have been corrupted and said, and don't get triggered. I know I'm not saying you're corrupted, but like Africa, we're not the African people. I know that some of us are African, but I'm just saying a lot of people have totally rejected Africa. And I did a paper, a full paper. This is when I was still, fresh and doing crazy stuff. I did a paper and I sent IUIC this back. I did the paper actually in 2011, but I sent it to IUIC at 2012. And because they were always talking about, it was Ithon, Ithon. This was so long ago. He used to be in his apartment. It was so small. Like, he would be like talking about, we're not Africans and we hate, and I have some Chinese friends. I'm gonna tell you what the background is. I have Japanese and Chinese friends that I know. So back then I was like, oh, I really love my friends. How can they be going, how can they be the washpot? I'm laughing. I'm giving you all too much information. But basically, I went and did this research. So what I found out is that's why I talk about the Kunlun, Judah. I've told you about that before. And there is a place called the Kunlun Mountains of worship, but there were actually African people who were black slaves, and they basically worshipped the Chinese. Worship these people. They said they were magical, that they followed they wouldn't eat certain foods. The men wouldn't cut their beards. The men were, just doing certain things that they said, wow, they won't eat past a certain time. They do certain things on a day that basically was Sabbath. So here's an excerpt from the paper. So, let me get to it just really quick. The late Ming Dynasty bibliographer and playwright Mei Dingzhou And 1549 to 1615, she wrote this, or he wrote this. I don't know. May seems like a woman's name, but whatever. Wrote a play entitled, now this was in from 1549, this was in the 1500s. Wrote a play entitled How the Kunlun Slave Became an Immortal. The play expands upon the story in several ways. For instance, Mo Li explains to Q, his master. Now, Mo Li is the actual Kunlun, this slave, which is an Israelite, which is an African slave, taken there by the Arabs. I'm just showing you a part that I added about some playwright that talks about it. Okay, so anyway, so Mo Li explains to Kui, his master, that despite his wonderful abilities, because he had abilities, by the way, they'd be like, he's blessed. The Chinese thought that these Kunlun, these black slaves, had a special extra power because of the way they lived, like very like regal and priestly, and they had restrictions that the Chinese didn't do. So they thought these must be gods. This is killing Ramel, because see, those slaves were actually were exalted and worshipped when they were taken to the East. It's different than the slaves that were taken over the transatlantic, but I digress. So the Chinese treated them differently. Anyway, despite his wonderful abilities, he is still a slave because of an obligation from a past life. During the 10-year interval between his escape and when he's spotted selling medicine, so the slave, the actual Kunlun slave escaped from his master. He's selling medicine in the marketplace. Mo Li, the slave, which I know was an Israelite, a black Israelite in China, cultivates immortality through Taoist practices and befriends many Chinese immortals. Now, remember, this is written by a Chinese person. So, let's see here. So they show a picture. I show a picture of Mo Li, and basically it's a big black man with a beard, and he's got like coily hair, and they worship them. They use them as guards outside of their houses. They literally, in history, use these black slaves to guard outside their houses to keep away evil spirits. These type of people must have been specifically preferred, this is my writing, and sought after just as any valuable import like gold, sugar, porcelain, etc. Also, we are fully aware of the Chinese belief and superstition regarding the Kunlun as mystical. The Kunlun are these slaves. You can search it out today if you see the Kunlun Mountains, which is a place of worship for like Buddhists, but the Kunlun are what they called these African slaves that were brought through to China by Arabs. And they definitely, again, when they went through the land of the blacks, I found out what that is. It's called Zanj, I believe. And I'm going to skip down. It says the land of Zanj is located mostly in what are now modern day Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya, and was a group of 37 small city states on the coast of the Red Sea and on the surrounding islands. The name Zanj in Arabic and Persian means land of the blacks. This is where the Arabs would go grab slaves and take them to China, who became essentially the Kunlun people. I want to read the part where they said they saw them doing certain customs. It's Xinjiani is the name of a, wait, I don't want to read that. God, there's so much on here. I want to get to, let me read it. Okay, here's a part of what I wrote. This is me. I said, lastly, the Chinese were aware of the dark people. So I wrote this part. This isn't an excerpt from anything. So lastly, the Chinese were aware of the dark people having codes of law, because they talk about those people from the land of the Zanj having all these customs for living, which I also surmised that they accredited to the Kunlun's powers. So when they followed the Arabs wrote this, they said when they follow their laws, they get power. The Kunlun's powers were attributed to the adherence of steadfast following of such codes of law. Interestingly, the Bible has historical record as well of another group of Asians. I might be wrong about this, so y'all gonna come for me. But I said Ammonites. This is back when I was like, the Ammonites or the Japanese. But anyway, Ammonites who also were well aware of the dark, so-called, I did dark in parentheses, people's code of laws, which I'm referring to in the Apocrypha, in the book of Judith, where he was like, yeah, they're gonna, if they follow the Most High's law. I reference that. But anyway, I'm gonna hand it over to you after this. I'm just gonna read. I'm trying to find. I said I'd also like to lead you to another historical account of the Chinese historian Du Huan, who wrote during the Tang Dynasty. Du Huan encounters, I'm doing air quotes, Africans or black people in their own land, Moline, which is north and northeast of Africa. Moline also meaning blacks or land of blacks. Another place that's called the land of blacks. So not just one place is called the land of blacks, by the way. So when you say Sudan, that could have possibly also been called the land of blacks. We already know that the Ethiopians, the Greeks, they said those are the black people. So when this Du Huan was traveling, here it is. He was traveling along with Arabs through Arab lands. Well, that's what it said. Then scratch that. He was traveling with Arabs. He wrote this account after his first visit to Moline. Okay, Moline. Okay, so this is his writing. Quote, we also went to Moline, southwest of Jerusalem. One could reach the country after having crossed the great desert of the Sinai, having traveled approximately 1,500 kilometers, 2,000 miles, right? The people there are black and their customs are bold. There is little rice and cereal there, and there's no grass and trees in the land. Now, this is the writing, I can't even remember. This is during the Tang Dynasty, y'all. He said, the horses are fed with dried fish, and the people eat gumang. Gumang is a type of Persian date. Subtropical diseases like malaria are widespread. After crossing into the inland countries there is a mountainous country which gathered a lot of he gathered a lot of confessions here. They have 3 confessions: the Arab, Islam, the Byzantine, Christianity. So he's saying confessions as religions, right? He said there's 3 types of religions in this area: Arab, which is Islam, the Byzantine, which is Christianity, and the Zimzim, which is Judaism. Now, remember, this is what they're saying, Israelite, basically Torah followers, right? The Zimzim, I can't even read that right now. I don't even know what it says. In respect are the worst of all. Okay, so this person writing this hates the Zimzim. Basically, he said they are the worst of all. They're the worst of all. He said the followers under the confession. Do you want to jump in and say something? Because I'm like going on and on, but I gotta share this with you so you can break it apart. Because some of it might not be, but basically I think those were the Israelites that went to China and to, the East.
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, no one can prove that it wasn't, that they weren't, because it says in our text, mankind would forget, what I'm saying, who we were. So, hey, I mean, it said we led into slavery.
I got to send you this information because there's an author named Snow, S-N-O-W, to anyone who wants to do the research. Snow was the one who compiled all that the information. I got the excerpt about Du Huan, and he goes into the Kunlun. And I talked to you about this before. I know I did many times because the people that name. Yeah, you told me we know the Canaan people of Canaan are. You say they're the what? How do you say Chinese? The Sinai or
the Sinai, or they were called the Sinaim or Sina.
I know that there's a link. I have to find the link between them and the Kunlun.
They still go by that their name, but today, like in their airlines, Sina Airlines.
Yeah, those aren't the
Not
same.
if they
They're
seen
not
them.
different though.
Huh?
I don't think they're different from these Kunlun people that they say had these traditions and lived in basically part they Africa and Jerusalem too, like with all of these borders and all these labels. Like they'll laugh us to scorn, some people in the consciousness community, but it's not too far fetched, Judah. I know you maybe, I don't know where you stand, but Kemet, Egypt, and Jerusalem, the Levant, and then we have the Sudan. Like that region has been cut off with borders so neatly, but we're talking about a whole like thousands of years ago. Was it like that back then, or was it just like, you understand, you don't come over here where we are? You know what I mean? It's like,
I think people travel more freely. I mean, how else was there going to be trade? Trade was like important for everyone. Barely a nation can sustain itself by itself. It always generally has to have some kind of like, you know what I mean, like supply and demand system going with some other neighboring blah 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 or whatever. Because somebody's always got what you want, and you always got what someone else needs. So, such as so. Yeah, man. Well,
I mean, there's a billion people in China, everybody. A billion. We need to stop with this whole, like the debate that Aaron had. It's impossible to say that only Negroes, only Black people are Israelites. We got to stop that. How can it possibly be? I'm saying, like, and I'm not talking about because I'm fighting for everyone else besides us. I'm saying the Most High shows us the connections. I don't know what it was with me, and people can say, oh, it's because you're friends. You said you had Chinese friends and Japanese friends. No, I had one Japanese girlfriend, but I had like 3 or 4 Chinese friends and Filipino friends. And I always was interested in, before I even knew about that I'm an Israelite, I always was so fascinated, like drawn to just the cultures and I shouldn't say the cultures, scratch that, drawn to the art and the customs. That's better. So when you look closely into it, there are some people who are not Israelites, but then they tie, it's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Coliseum, they tie China to Africa hugely. I mean, even when you look at Buddha, like early depictions of Buddha, he's got cornrows. His cornrows, y'all. Judah, what are you doing? You don't have to mute out for the baby.
Yes, I do. Trust me. I know how. I mean, I know it comes with it. You know what I mean, when you have one, but like, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, I'm sure nobody wants to hear my baby crying.
No, you're not sure, because for me, sounding a baby crying is like life. That's a home full of wait a minute, Nepal, you've been calling these Black people Israelites since I've been here. So they all mixed, but as least you acknowledge they turn up Black. I haven't been just called. I come from the 12 tribe charts era, my friend. So I don't know what you mean, my love. I've been calling everybody. I used to. Let me talk to you. I have white people in my family, so-called white people, Irish people, and some Scottish, and even some German. Yes. And I'll be like, oh, they're Israelites though. Because I come from the intelligence of GMS, and they at least would be like, you can't just look at somebody and say, oh, he looks like she looks like Florida Evans. She definitely is Israelite. Oh, he looks like Lou Gossett Jr. Got to be an Israelite. No, GMS will be the only ones to be like, Bruce Lee is an Israelite. You do know that, right? Like, they're the ones who would do that. I think that's Pizzle, right?
You know, Pizzle always got to be argumentative.
So wait, she said Kaminari put that on the screen. Kaminari is summoning his cosmic power and reaching out to she's. That's right. He's saying he's actually, let me look, plot twist. Kaminari is actually the power force, and Shizin comes to his beck and call, and he gives Shizin the message. Shizin, we must conquer. And Shizin is like, I'm on top of it. Anyway, so I used to tell my
They would both be like thunder in nature, like if you simplify them.
white Scottish Israelites. I see how I added white. I mean, I know I said so-called phenotypically white, but the same people who will say, not you, Pizzle, but people will say Scottish people are white. But then you want to turn around, they turn around and say, but King James, he was a black man. You know, it's like, which one is it? So, what do you think about that?
I think that King David or King James. Oh,
no, not King James, bro. Don't take me down that road. He's completely homosexual. It's been confirmed.
Oh, okay, let's not talk
King
about this.
James wrote a letter to a man saying, "You are my wife." All right, y'all stop. But I'm saying, what do you think about the Scottish? I mean, the word Scot.
Well, first of all, hold on, wait, hold on.
What? Yes, he did.
Wait.
And he said something to the guy, like the guy said, I love my head. It didn't say this specifically, but it was like, he's like, I like my head banging the headboard with you. But it didn't specifically say that, but it was understood that he was talking about something like that.
Man, well, I mean, you know.
That letter is fake. Look, is that Pizzle? That letter's not fake.
Oh, Pizzle's what you call a contrarian. If you say it's raining outside, he's going to say, no, it's not.
No, but he knows about that letter. That letter's not fake, Pizzle. There's several letters. There's like hundreds of letters. It wasn't just that. Well, I'm going to have to get the information now. Do you mind? I'm sorry to do this to everybody.
Bro, Ronaldo's a troll.
It's all good. People want us to get wild. That's what they want. They don't want to hear this kind of information. They want to hear us talk about. They want to hear us roast.
Oh, facts, bro. But, you know. Sorry, my baby's going crazy.
Soon come. But let's talk about King James, because we could get it. We could get a little controversy here in the staying in the parameters of being following Shabbat. So let's talk about King James. And yes, I do go to King James Bible to get information out, but I know who King James was. King James, lover. Which one do you want me to pick, Judah? He has many.
Wait, hold on. He's crying.
He has Robert Carr, George Villiers. Who else did he have? He had a couple others.
I think it's your 13th, Yahoo.
Tomorrow's the 13th, yeah.
Yeah. The debate tomorrow between Menelik, aka
Shalom Yirmiyahu
versus YARAH.
Yes, it's going to be tomorrow. And it's at 7 p.m. on the Coliseum. Judah, why is everybody classed a troll? You say the wildest mess. All right.
Bro, you're contrarian by nature. Like, that's a little weird, bro.
I guess Chinese men who grape children. What? The Lord. Why? What? Why?
I don't know what he's saying. That was really weird.
Ramel, why?
No, we just probably gonna get flagged. Just leave it alone. It was very weird.
Oh, his name is Pizzle. Says it's Fizzle, but Napa says it's Rizzle. She's trying to. She's getting the. She's doing the sonnetter like Don King. She's trying to get it lit. Pizzle says it's Fizzle, but Napa says it's Rizzle. All right. So I don't know. Let's talk about him. I want to get back to King James. This is so interesting to me because when I started reading up on this man, I was like, "There's no way." Let's see.
Oh well, okay. Let me tell first what I know. So, what I know from him is from a book called Scottish Rite Masonry, right? And they started talking about he was I think might have been one of the stewards, and these were these wars going on between Catholic Church and the Protestant movement. type for kings. Like one king would be a Catholic, one king would be like a Protestant, blah blah blah, right?
Wait, repeat that. I need to hear that again.
So during this, I knew that during this time of King James, I think it was during the time of the Stuarts, and
he is a Stuart.
Yeah, and I think either him or brother or father, somebody named Charles, one of the King Charles or whatever, these guys were helped by the Jesuits to restore him to the throne.
Stop.
And so
I need to pick that apart.
So that
somebody that is within England, you mean, not in Scotland? I mean, in England, right?
Well, I forgot what I was saying. What did I say?
You said Charles helped him get the throne.
Oh yeah, no.
By executing and his mom, or what?
Jesuits helped him get to the throne.
All right.
This was like this huge controversy, like back in the days, where like people were wondering whether Jesuits were like good or bad, because they were involved in like king making and like, you know, overthrowing its kings, and they would do it on behest of the Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? This is just facts of history. So, you know, him being living like this, possibly, but during this time he was a Freemason of that time, which Freemasonry for that time was Christian. There was no Illuminati.
Well, when you say that, are you taking into account the Knights Templar?
Yeah, that at that point there was no such thing. You know, people will be like the Illuminati.
Yeah. But I'm saying we got to get the dates straight, because I'm not saying you're wrong, but like King James and the Knights Templar.
Well, the Knights. No, listen to what I'm saying. They were still like Catholics. There was no like outward Luciferian weird mess going on, like where people don't necessarily know that it's connected to the Catholic Church.
Okay, but let's hold on. Just stay with me, because I want to understand. So we know the Knights Templar, they were way before King James. But what you're saying is by that time, I can definitely entertain the conversation with facts that will back us that the Knights Templar went in and they merged, if we could say, moved into and took over and changed the Freemasonry. So they moved when they were being, executed and they were being hunted down. Their group of them went into Scotland and they took a hold of the Masons, the Freemasons. So I agree with you on that part.
That was like, but at that time, it was like Christian wars. It was like Catholic Church and it still is, like, people who don't realize like how powerful the Catholic.
So you're talking about now you're talking about
this stuff,
the schism between the Vatican, the Catholic Church, and the Protestant Church, where they split.
Yeah, that was like that was the war back. That was like the what
you're talking about Luther, right?
Luther. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people thought in terms of like that back then. Like now.
Okay, so got it. So when there was this break between Martin Luther, when Martin Luther came in and said 99 Theses here, I want to say this is what I want to say to the church, and the church is like, you know what? We're breaking away from these guys. We're now the Protestants. We protest against the Catholic Church. So then you're saying that the Protestants pushed to get King James in office, right?
No, the Jesuits got him on the throne.
So you're saying the Catholics put him in office?
No, like they help. They're like a military wing. They don't conquer and kill people. They just know how to get things done.
So when they got him in office, though, he must have turned on them.
No, you don't turn on the.
No, but my point is, because his mother was a Catholic.
I know, but the last person to turn on the church was, you know who.
No, when I say turned him in, I'm not saying he did. I'm saying that can't be possible, because if the Jesuits pushed for him to be in, wait, no, that's not true. Scratch that. The Jesuits are not just Catholic; they are in every single religion. So I'm sorry. Let me back.
No, they are, but their main goal is to report in their oath. It is all for the glory of the Pope. Yeah.
So all for the glory of the Pope, but they infiltrate every single group. I got you.
Yeah.
So they did push. I got you. Okay, so we're on the same page again. So yes. So even though the Jesuits are essentially working for the Catholic Church, they said, fine, you know what? I agree. Because the Protestants are still Catholics, by the way. Like, there's never been this break that we've been taught, like, oh, the Catholics and the Protestants separated. And I'm sorry to Vocab Maloney, hates to hear that. All of it is just on the surface, but they still did that. They did this to get control over the people because people were waking up, just like they did with Hebrew Israelites, by the way. When we wake up and we say, this is all a lie, they place Jesuits within us to draw us away. Okay, so yeah, you and I are back on the same page. So I clarified. So go on.
Yeah, so if you ever hear like the Knights Templar, they were like around like 1000 AD, like roughly around that time, right? Or and like a little.
What did you say? I was reading Pizzle's comment.
Knights Templar, they were before that, but I'm saying like when they were like, because there's a point where they became like really rich. First, they were called
the Knights Templar were filthy rich. They were more powerful than the actual church.
Before they were not, though. They were called like the poor knights in Christ.
No, they weren't called the Knights Templar at all. Yeah, okay. Yeah. This is when they came back. When they came back from the old world and they came back to Europe.
They knew somehow they knew how to amass mad wealth. Okay.
No, but I want to say that I'm just jumping in. That's because they did find treasures, and they 100% found Solomon's temple. They found it.
Well, I mean, the Jesuits, that's the military wing. They get it done. So, yeah. And their oath, man, they say, hey, look, if we need to infiltrate this movement and sound like...
I'm listening, but I'm not going to be able to talk for just a second. I got to go get something.
Okay. When they infiltrate your joint, whatever you believe, oh, man, I don't believe in God, man, blah, 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 blah. And he'd be sitting right next to you, straight up agent. For real agent, not some dude. But some of these people are agents. You think they just like people in that? No, working for them people. Just kind of like keeping observing. Come on, man. They noticed YouTube wasn't like this pandemic. Look, we need to stop, bro. Now YouTube is gonna turn into the N-word hangout. White folks going to Rumble. Like, wait, bro. But yeah, man. I think so tomorrow. I'm not sure the time. I forgot. I have it written down. It'll be on the HOK debate Coliseum. It'll be Elder YARAH versus Menelik, aka the brother elect. The topic is really, really good. It's a rare topic. It's like, I think it's more or less to make it more, to strip it down and make it more easy. I think essentially is the Bible written in English the Word of God? Essentially, like, can you read the English version of the Bible and get to know God? Or is it sacred because of the language? Or not sacred? So, I don't know. I know that he asked, this question, and that this was supposed to be the topic of the debate. So, but, show up, brother Absalom, brother. What's going on, brother? Ashton said, what? Wow. That's not necessarily untrue. You're right. There was a French thing, right? And what's really funny is French Freemasonry was like atheistic. People don't understand, never look at things. I'll give you an example, right? Like, and that's what I'm talking about, like consciousness. You would think people would be telling, like, enlightening people, unless you wasn't like, I ain't saying like people are working with them people, but right, like you would actually have up some like real thought-provoking, like conscious aware, like, hey man, look at this, blah blah blah, blah, right? But whatever, man.
I thought tomorrow's debate was Jeremiah.
No, I think it's YARAH and Menelik. So, it being written in English, I've actually thought about this myself. But it would make well for a great debate. I would definitely like to hear the Q&A. Well, all the information and the Q&A, so it should be pretty good. Pretty good debate. A classic. Shout out to the brother elect who never comes around because he's always on Discord. Many truths to it. His son has many pubs here named after him called the Black Boy. Wow. I'm so big my eyes are dry. I think in the pod I fell asleep. All right, I'm not sure what the pod's doing, but yeah, man. It just be but today I gotta keep it clean, so I'm gonna be
I had to walk all the way back over here to get onto the laptop. I didn't fall asleep. I'm listening to you on my phone, but I had to go get something. So I'm listening. I'm coming right back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Oh man, I hear that. I'm sorry, y'all. I said the pod is sipping on kombucha right now. Yeah, maybe. Well, she did say. I mean, I think you're not necessarily wrong, Mrs. Jackson. Bizzle said the Stewart family was actually German. Stewart means black in German Schwartz. I'm gonna call BS on this one. No, bro, I can't. I'm not gonna necessarily agree to this, bro. But I'm not saying it wrong. Or yeah, I am saying it wrong, but I'm not saying I know the answer, but I think that's wrong too. So, bro, the pop. I think I'll take a nap, man. I'm like all tired. I think I just ate too many munchies. And the itis, like straight up, y'all. I don't know what the pot is. Hello? She's sitting up her computer. Oh my god, all right. All right, I don't know where the pot is, man. I'm like sleepy as get up, man. Like, whoa.